Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to this video. My name is Joe Weinrich, and in this video I'm going to share with you how to scale your business to your next million without wasting time or money. Now, this is a video about the most important lesson that I was ever taught by my dad. I've used this in every business venture that I've been a part of since I started when I was 14 years old. I still use it today, and it's something that I have to recall every single time that I do something, put it to market, everything. And what I've done is I've taken it from just kind of a metaphor or kind of a story to remember, and I've used it and changed it into something that's kind of more focused on systemization. And so the systems that you can create using this are bar none. Nothing else will make the most impact in your business like this will. And so I'm really excited to share it with you. So here's how to scale your business without wasting time or money. Okay, so in a nutshell, you need to scale like Rocky. So the reason Rocky was so successful, even though he wasn't the best in everything that he did, and even though he wasn't, the best fighter, he wasn't the champ, he was just a nobody in the middle of nowhere, Philadelphia, right? And he didn't have the resources or the training or anything to get him to the place where he needed to be the champion, but he was called to it. And the reason he became successful and got to a place where, there were 4 movies made, as you can see in this photo here from the 4th one, is because he knew how to take the hits and to use those hits and turn them into success. Okay? He wasn't the best, but he would last until the end every single time. And the persistence and his ability to truly dodge and weave, to bob and weave out of the way of the hits. And when he took the hits, use them as feedback, understand them, and change them into success. That's why Rocky succeeded, right? And so when we learn how to do that in our business and to bob and weave with the things that we're putting to market and learning from the mistakes and enhancing the things that worked and trimming the things that didn't work, all of that learning and that data is invaluable. And that's truly how you can scale using the least amount of money and the least amount of time as possible. See, a lot of people, they put stuff to market, it doesn't work in a week, and then they're like, oh, well, whatever, let's close it all down and try something new. And then they'll hear something from their buddy John, who John is doing this, he's seeing some success with this thing, and so they copy John's sales letter and they put it to market and they don't get the results that they're looking for. Or, they see somebody spending a ton of money on branding, and so they'll go hire a designer to make them a bunch of cool assets and things, and they'll put that to market, and they'll be like, wow, look how cool it is, and they'll get pats on the back from everybody at the warehouse and their wife, and everything will seem fine, but then the money doesn't come in because that's not really scale, right? And so a lot of people, they try and scale by, doing one-off things and hoping and praying. And so when you scale, you have to scale like Rocky. You have to put stuff to market. You have to understand how it works in the market, trim what doesn't work, enhance what does work, and scale that up. Okay? So here's how to bob and weave like a billionaire. Here's how to basically take this system and take this metaphor and systemize it, okay? So the biggest companies in the world, the way that they scale and the reason that they scale is because they systemize everything, okay? They think in systems. They don't think, okay, this is here, this is there. If I'm going to put money towards this and it doesn't work, oh, well, this one thing didn't work. No, nothing is linear to a billionaire. Everything is a system. And when you put in money to one thing or you put effort into one thing, it's going to affect everything around it. Okay, I've got people who, they come to me and they're like, well, I don't have this, I don't have this, I don't think that I need this, our customer service is good, we pay $500 a month to outsource that, we're all good on that, but we all need this. And so we'll take a step back and I'm like, wait a minute, I heard you said customer service, you just outsource that for $500. And they said, yeah. And these are people doing millions of dollars every single month. These are not stupid people. And I said, you've got a ton of people coming through your program. I said, Are you sure they're getting the support that they need? And they said, yeah, for sure they are. Like, we hire a customer service company, like, that's taken care of. And I said, is it though? Because you're putting $500 in to people who don't know what they're doing, who don't really know your product like they do, and not delivering the sufficient support that somebody would expect when they're spending hundreds of dollars with you, sometimes thousands in certain cases. And they said, well, blah, 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 and there were, pushback on it from the people on the board, but we finally made a change. And so we hired some people that were in the States. And what that did is focusing on that one small thing there created essentially like a flywheel effect. And so when we put it there, the sales started to go up on the back end. Because when people come into your business and they buy something from you, if they don't get all of the support that they need and they don't have a great experience with you, after giving you the attention and time that you requested and the money that you requested they give on your sales pages and all of that, and they don't have a good experience with you, they're not going to come back. They're not going to be a return purchase. And you're going to essentially just start from scratch every single month. And so when you think like a billionaire, you understand that everything you do in your business affects everything else. Customer service, customer support might seem like an expense, but it's not. It's part of the huge system of your business. And when you can dial that in, it affects everything around it in a positive way. And so that's what we have to do with this. We have to create a system where you put it to market. Once you put it to market, you receive feedback from the market, and then you adjust what works, and then you take off what doesn't work, right? So you essentially enhance the positives and trim and scale and descale the negatives so that you're not taking a lot of time and not taking a lot of money on stuff that doesn't work. So here's how you do it. Create your offer. Most of you have an offer. If you're watching this, you sell something, okay? This can be, if you're a real estate agent, you obviously sell your services. If you sell a product, then that's your offer there, right? So whatever you have as your offer, that's your thing, okay? You create a process to deliver that offer. Let's say I sell socks, all right? I sell cabin socks, those fuzzy ones that are, all different designs. So I sell cabin socks. That's my offer. Great. We're going to create a process to deliver that offer. The process can look a number of different ways, but all that I'm going to do is I'm going to make a sales page, and then after the sales page, I might have some additions, like maybe some upsells, maybe pajamas or, a mug, something like that, and then a little, let's say, a hot chocolate making kit, okay? And so all of those things, we'll put those together, and that'll be kind of the process to deliver that offer, all right? And so when people come in the door, they give me money for the socks, and then I offer them upsells with things related to the socks, and then at the end is the thank you page and the thank you email. And that's the process that I'll use to deliver that offer. Great. After I do that, then I put that offer to market. I drive traffic to it. Okay, so I'll make some ads and I'll drive them to that initial sales page for the socks. People come in, buy the socks, buy some of the upsells, then they get a thank you page. That's the process to deliver it. Okay? And then once that's been running for 7, 8 days, then I will trim back the things that didn't work. So if I look at my process in the beginning, before the click, I'll start with that, and I look at that and I say, okay, these ads worked well, and then these ads didn't work well. Then I'll take the ads that didn't work well and I'll trim those, right? I'll completely pull those away and I'll turn them off, and they didn't work. They didn't hit the KPIs that I needed them to get. But then these ads over here, they did work well. Great. We're going to scale those up. We're going to add a little bit more dollar value on each of them every single day. So if they're at $5 a day per ad, then we'll add another $5 and double the spend. And then we start to see some success on the ad side. Great, that before the click process is taken care of. The second part we have to look at is the after the click process. In the after the click process, on that, we're going to focus on adding more offers and then adding more follow-up. So we're going to have contingency plans in place for every single break in the process. So somebody comes in the door, they browse, but they don't buy, we're going to send them some retargeting ads. If somebody comes in the door and they browse, right, they add to cart, but they don't buy, we're going to add a contingency plan in place, some follow-up emails that are going to be the abandoned cart emails, okay? And then if somebody browses, adds to cart, and purchases, but then they don't purchase one of the upsells, we're going to add contingency plans in place for the upsells. Okay, and so that's what we're going to do to optimize that process and enhance that process. But we can also remove from this process. And the things that we would remove from this process are some of the upsells. If somebody doesn't take any of the upsells, right? If there's one upsell that they're just not taking, let's say it's the second one. What did we say that was? It was the mug. If they're not taking the mug, but they're taking the how to make hot chocolate kit and they're taking the pajamas, well then great, we'll take the mug out and we'll replace it with something else. We'll add a different offer. Okay, and that's how you can trim and scale that. And then you look at the back end process to get them to return purchase. All of the emails that you have in place to get them to come back to you. Okay, how can you trim and scale that? If you have an email going out that's on a consistent basis, that's 2 weeks later after somebody purchases, and for some people it works, some people it doesn't, but then there's another one that works for almost everybody, well, then you double the effectiveness of that one that works by just duplicating it for a different product. Because obviously people are responding to the layout of that email. And so that's how you trim and scale each of your systems. Okay? And so then you just essentially just enhance what did work, and then you trim what didn't work. That's it. And then once you've done this for process number 1, then you duplicate that process that did work into another medium. So if that has been working really well for, let's say, Facebook ads to a sales page, well, then duplicate it for TikTok ads and send some TikTok traffic to that new process, to the exact same process. And then you're doubling the amount of traffic that's going into the store there. And then the final thing is you duplicate that entire process, all of the ad channels, all of the processes, to offer number 2. So instead of cabin socks, now your second offer is, let's say, the front end offer is the pajamas this time. So now it's the pajamas, and then the socks are now the upsell. Okay? And so then you've essentially taken the exact same thing that you know works, that you have tested and that you have dialed in to the fullest extent that you possibly could, and you have received feedback from the market that, hey, this thing works. Then you just duplicate it for something else, and you double the amount of scale that you're getting on something that is proven to work, that you know works, in a system that people are responding to. And so you're not just building one thing and then trying a bunch of different stuff to see what works. You're not just throwing stuff at the wall and experimenting and hoping and praying. You're not doing that. You're not experimenting. You're not just praying that something works. You're only spending money on stuff that is proven, dialed in, that you know you're going to get a response from. You're not going to get anywhere by hoping and praying, okay? You got to where you are right now by having a good offer, by putting that offer to market, and by driving a sufficient amount of traffic to it. But for some reason, entrepreneurs, we get thrown off at a certain point. It's usually at that $500,000 to $1 million a year mark, right? We see some success. Everything is going well. But then we get away from that thing that was working for us. We get away from that thing that made us successful in the first place. And we don't dial it in. We just start throwing a bunch of stuff at the wall, hoping and praying that it will work when it won't. And it never will, because we don't have anything in place that's systemized, that we can just essentially bob and weave around and trim and enhance. We don't do that. We just throw a bunch of stuff at the wall, try and drive a bunch of traffic to the system that we already knew worked, the sales page that was pretty good, and we don't try to enhance anything about it. We think that, oh, it's getting us some sales. Great, we'll leave it and just try a bunch of other stuff now. And when that doesn't work after a week, we just let it be. We leave it and we say, nope, doesn't work. Moving on to the next thing. Okay? So all that I can tell you is that that's what you need to focus on. Okay? Your goal and if you want to make more money, the way that you do that is traffic to a process, and then you have that offer in the process. They take you up on that offer and you deliver it. And that's it. This is all that you need to focus on. You optimize that and that's it. And if you focus on anything else, if you focus on stuff outside of that, you're not going to get the results that you're looking for, because that's not the thing that made you successful in the first place. And you're essentially starting at square one every single time, and you're never going to recoup that success that you got originally, because there's nothing there to support it. Okay? So have your traffic to a process that presents the offer to the people that are coming from the traffic, deliver it in a sufficient way, deliver the value that they are opting in for, support them as much as you need to support them, find what works, enhance that, find what doesn't work, trim that, and then duplicate that to another ad platform. And then once that's cooking, great, duplicate that entire thing, ad platforms and all, to a new product. Because you know it works, it's been proven, and you're not going to waste a ton of time and a bunch of money trying to do this.
I just wanted to say thank you for watching this video. So if your business does $250,000 or more in gross sales every year, and you want to grow your revenues while getting rid of complexity and stress, then I might be able to help you, okay? I have a consulting program that's unique in these two ways. The first way is I will literally guarantee that you'll make at least twice my fee in the first 90 days. There's no catch to that. There's no fine print, nothing. And I do this by a couple different ways. I do this first by eliminating the clutter and distraction in your business. business, all the 9 million things that you're focusing on, and I find simple ways to increase the revenue immediately. And then we'll take all of those things that we implemented and find what works, and then we'll systemize them so that you have sustained growth, okay? With all my clients, and you would be included in this, my goal long-term is a minimum 20% revenue growth in the next 12 months of working with me. So if you're interested in that, I am happy to give you a free initial consulting session. It's kind of my way of using the oldest trick in the book, which is to demonstrate I can help you by actually helping you. So if that's something that you're interested in, getting a kind of discussion on whether we might be a good match in terms of working together, I'm happy to show you kind of the low-hanging fruit opportunities to grow your revenue in your business, and I want to do that for free. So if you're interested in that, you can schedule a call with my office by going to joeclients.com. On that website, you'll see just a couple little multiple choice questions, and then you'll be taken to a calendar where you can schedule the time that works for you.